Hello everyone. Let us now discuss how can we solve this problem. First thing, using a robot to print lexicographically smallest string. So we are going with a string S and we need to take a T as an empty string. Now we need to do either of these two operations. Remove first character of S and append to T. Remove last character of T and give to robot. Robot will write it on paper. Right? Now, return the lexicographically smallest string written on paper. So, we need to do this operation or this operation and we need to return the lexicographically smallest string. Now, let us see what does this lexicographically smallest mean. If I got A, B, C and another time I got A, C, C. This is S1 and this is S2. B is lesser than C. So S1 will be lexicographically smallest string. Right? I think you got what does this lexicographically smallest mean. Now I got this S is equal to ZAPC, ZAPC. Now I am taking T. Right? I just change the color. So now T is empty initially and the string I am writing in the paper is also empty for now. Now I just take Z to T. I'm just removing or erasing the Z from S and I have A. But if you see, I got A for 2 times. I got B for 2 times, C for 2 times and also Z for 2 times. I can write A, B, B, C, C, Z and then Z if I have allowed to rearrange all the characters in S. But this will not work. Why? Why? Because we need to do some operation of taking from S, pushing that back into T. Take the first character from S and push that back into T and take the last character from T and push that back into P. So this will not work for us. What I need to do is search for A. I need to take as much as least characters as, right? I need to maintain, like I need to get A and then A something where there might be some other characters, but I need to make sure that I will get this A firstly. Now let us see, I got this A. Now what I'll do, I'll just take this and push it back into T. Here comes the conflict. I have B and I have A. Now if I push this B back into T, what does the question says? I need to take the last character from T. There might be other characters, I don't care. But B will come first and then A comes afterwards. But to my intuition, for my intuition, A should come before B. But here it's reverse. So what I need to do, if the last character of T which is lesser than the first character of S. What I need to do at this time? Take this A and push that back into P. Now, if you see how many characters are the now, if you see in S, I had Z for 2 times, A for 2 times and all. But I got this Z from S and push that back into T. What I need to do? Just decrement there, and also I push this A back into T. So then push that, so take that back. Right. If you see, the minimum character is A for now. Until now it is A. Let us see what happens. Right. Now the next thing is I have B and I have Z. So if you see, there is no conflict. Something like Z is not lesser than B. What I need to do? Take this B and push that back into T. Now I have C. B is lesser than C, right? But if you see, this B is not lesser than A. That's it. I don't push that back. Why? Why? Because there is a chance that I get A and A. Why I need to do like A and B. So I will push the last character of T only when if it is lesser than the minimum character. The first character in the frequency map will be the least character. So if the last character of T is lesser than the minimum character, let me write it over here. If the last character of T is less than the minimum character in frequency map, then only push back into the paper, right? Okay, now, right, so B is not lesser than the minimum character A, right? Now what I need to do, just go to C, right? First thing, just go to C, and first thing, right, but before going to C, I have B pop back or erased from S, so decrement the frequency. Now I have C then pop back or erase from S, so decrement the frequency and push it back into T. Now I have C and then Z. The both the C is lesser than Z, but it is not lesser than A. Now what I'll do, just take Z again and decrement the Z and push that back into T. But here, if you see, Z has become 0. If it is 0, no need to maintain it, right? Just remove it from our frequency map. Now, I have A. What I'll do, every time I'm doing the same thing, just take A and push that back into our T. Now A had become 0. What I said before is remove, just do that remove operation. Now if you see, the least character for now is B, right? Now the last character of T, A, is lesser than the minimum character in frequency map. So what I'll do, push that A back, right? Now I got A into P, right? Now I have B. Next, for the next time, I have B. Now Z is the last character of T. If you see, Z is the last character of C. Now, is Z lesser than B? No. What I'll do, push this, take this that B from S and push that back into T. Now, I am just removing or making it as 0. Now, what I'll do, I'll just remove it, right? Now if you see, I have B and I have C. C is the minimum character. Now let us see. The last character of T is lesser than the minimum character from frequency map. B is lesser than C. This is the minimum character from frequency map, right? So B is lesser than C. What I need to do? Push that T, the last character of T, into P. Now let us see. I have C is the last the character in the last, right? Now take that C and push that back into our T. Now the S is empty, right? So as the frequency map. Now what I need to do? Push T from the reverse, right? So C and then Z and then C and then B and then Z, right? Let us see whether is it correct or not. Sorry, ZABC. I think I have took this, right? ZABC. Now, now let us see. I'm just returning return something like an empty string. Now let us see. So I'm returning an empty string. So I hope it's correct. AABC ZCBZ. AABCZCBZ. So our intuition for whole is correct, right? Now let us go and check for this. What I am saying, just take the frequency map. Now B is the least character is for one time, and after that B I got D, A B C D E, and then E for one time, E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V Y and then Z. F for one time, I for one time, V for one time, Y for one time, and then Z for one time. So I think yes, we are correct. Now let us go. For now, I got the first character as B. So what I'm saying is just take T, an empty string. T is empty. Now what I said is push the first character. If T is not empty, just take that character and push it back into T. Now B is 0. What I said again, just make if it is 0, just take that out into our from our frequency map. Now the least character is D, right? Now if you see, I got Y and I got B. I got P as empty string, which I need to return. I got P, B, and Y here as the S. Now, if you see, B is lesser than D, right? Am I right? B is lesser than D. What I said. If the last character of T is lesser than the minimum character, push that back into P. Now, I have Y. Just push that back into T. Now, Y is decremented for one time and I need to remove that. Wait a second. I need to just remove that from our unordered map or frequency map, right? Now Y is for what? Now Y is it lesser than D? No, not at all. Now I have D again. So take the D and make it as 0 and push it back into T. Now I got it as 0. Now what will be our least character is E. Now the last character of T is D. Push that back into P. Now I have I, right? I will be pushed back into our T. Now I have I and also E. Now what is the minimum from these two? E is itself. I is not greater, right? So now I got Z again. So Z will be pushed back and let me make it as 0. Now I got Z as 0. Now let me check. Z, is it lesser than E? No. Now let me take this F and push that back into T. F will become 0. As I said, make if it is as 0, remove that from our map. Now I got V, but before that let me check, is F lesser than E? No, not at all. E is the minimum character which I am searching for. The intuition here itself is taking the minimum character every time, then only taking all the characters afterwards. E is lesser than F. So F is not lesser than E. So let me go to the next character V and push that back into T. Let me make it as 0 and I will remove that from our map. Now I have E. Let me take this E and push that back into T. Now is E lesser than E? No, but it is equal to, right, but I have made it as 0. Sorry, I have made it as 0 and I am removing it. Now I is the minimum character. Is E lesser than I? Yes. So what I need to do? Take this E and push that back into P. Now I have I for one time. But as S is empty, what I need to do? Push all the characters from the back of T into P. V and then F and then Z and then I and then Y. Now let us take this BYDIZFVE and let us check BYD BYD, right? BYD IZFVB IZFVE VE, right? Now let us see whether I am correct or not. BDE VFZIY BDEVFZIY. Yes, we are correct. So first thing, let us write the algorithm here and I want you to solve this and let me know in the comments what will be the answer for this string, right? So the algorithm will be, now I need to go character by character in the string S. So for, as I am doing it, as I said, for auto character in S, right? So frequency of C minus minus, and if frequency of C is equal to 0, frequency dot erase C, right? What I'll do is just make a while loop. While t is not empty, I'll just push that t dot back into the p last to the p, right? And there might be a case that frequency is empty, or or t dot back is lesser than or equal to frequency dot begin of first character, right? Sorry, the first one, right? Now if the either of these two is true and t is not empty, p dot pushback t dot back and t dot pop back, and I'll do the same thing while t is not empty. While t is not empty, do the same thing again, p dot pushback and t dot pop back here itself, and we'll be returning p at the end. Now let us do the coding for this. First thing, I'll be initializing string as t as empty and p as also empty. Now for character, wait a second, character C in S, frequency of C++. First thing, let me name frequency, let me take initialize this frequency map. Now as I am going for character C in S, frequency of C minus minus, if frequency of C is equal to 0, then frequency dot erase C, right? Frequency dot erase C. Now after that I need to push that back into, push that C back into our T. Now while T is not empty, and frequency is also not empty, or if T dot back is less than or equal to T dot frequency dot begin first, right? Now what I need to do, T dot push p dot push back t dot back and t dot pop back. Do the same thing while t is not empty, right? Wait a second, while t is not empty, while t is not empty, just do this, right? Now return p at the end. So I have submitted the problem or the code. Now this is how we solve the problem, and if you have any doubts, do comment in the comment section, and if you like this video, do share it to your friends and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.